First, let's get our coordinates right. This will be LDP highway coming in from Kelana Jaya going into Bandar Utama. Then this will be Sprint Highway connecting NKBE into Mont Kiara. And adjacent to this intersection, this will be the Mate. And it's adjacent to Tri Damansara Mall. Then the entire site surrounding it will be all landed. And just by looking a little bit further away, this will be Damansara Uptown already. Then a little bit further in you will have TTDI. Then a little bit further in you will have Mont Kiara. And right behind you, you will have SS2. So in other words, the address is just... Anyway, this will be the project that we're going to check out today. It's a freehold commercial building. Just take this chance to kind of clarify, this is not Soho. Soho is like residential components within a commercial building. This is not. This is fully an office suite. But you can actually have some residential components within it. Is entirely up to you. But the main thing that is going to happen here will be the flexibility that it comes with it. It can be partial corporate office, partial lifestyle office, partial studio, partial home office, partial suites for short-term stay. Entirely up to you. And in total there will be 268 units, but the top 2 floors was taken up by the group, so now it's left with 244 units only. So when you come in from the road, this is LDP actually. When you come in straight, this will be one way in, one way out format, and the ground floor drop-off will be in the center. And in the ground floor, there will be 3 retail units. And they divide the usage of car park into basement and elevated. This will be the one for the units above. This will be the one for the corporate office. And due to the space constraint, there will be levels of units where it does not come with a car park. So when you pick your units, right, please do bear in mind whether does a unit come with a car park or not. To certain owners, some they are pretty particular, but it depends entirely up to you, okay? From the architecture then, I can see there will be like a staggering buffer of the tower away from the main road. So I think this is the best that it can do already. So this will be a statement piece in the front, and this will be a small landscape area. Next to you, actually it's all landed properties, so it's going to be kind of nice. But there will be noise from the highway definitely. On top of the elevated car park, this will be the facilities deck, and this will be the swimming pool and a gym adjacent to it. At the back here then there will be some green spaces and garden spaces for people to hang out. And there were earlier proposals of having a direct access here, but I don't think the landed houses folks will agree to it lah, because suddenly you will have so many people using the road. As a result, there will be only one way in and one way out for the project. And if you were to use the elevated car park, this will be the ramp setting where it will be 1 floor by 1 floor by 1 floor. So based on the perspective, this entrance is going to look like that when there's going to be a left in and left out after you drop off. And due to the setback requirements, they actually made the front portion of the building into a garden. And for ground floor, there will be 3 retail shops available. And this will be the main drop-off. At level 6 then, it will be the facilities deck. A rather basic one due to the size constraint again. You see like a lap pool, kids pool, barbecue pit, gym room. But I like the emphasis on this entire space, right, as a co-lifestyle space. And I think that's the entire spirit of this project, because you are just located within the CBD of PJ itself, surrounded by Uptown, surrounded by all the commercial spaces, all the office spaces, and this is somewhat like the in-between residential and commercial space. Because by just looking around, right, you have so many hotels, so many malls, so many shop lots and etc. But there's no in-between kind of transition space. This might be it. And the team just shared with me that the developer themselves will be taking up spaces within. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's because of the strategic location traveling around. So basically, when you have any appointments around PJ KL, right, 1 turn down, you are already into the highway. So that's pretty cool. Then for the floor plan of the signature suites, there will be 16 units in total per floor, served by 4 lifts. And the unit layout type, there will be 4 types generally. You have the studio type, which starts from 486, 549, 600 plus for 2 rooms. But the sizes ranges from 486 to 675 square feet. Today this will be the unit I'm going to check out. This is type F4, 638 square feet, 2-bedroom unit. And this is the only layout left because the rest all sold out already. And just when you think, right, the smaller units will be a problem in terms of stigma, like 400 square feet, who is going to stay? And imagine this was launched like a while ago. It was a bit groundbreaking in that sense, but now if you look into the trends of the new launches, right, you kind of have that similar trends of sizes already, because I think due to affordability, due to the high land cost, high construction cost and all. Anyway, coming in, this will be the entrance. So walking through a corridor, this will be your living and dining already. Then tucked at the side, this will be a bathroom. Then at the end, there will be a balcony and an aircon ledge. Room 1, room 2. But before that, again, we need to kind of switch our mind a little bit, because this is a SOVO, not a residential apartment. So just now when we think about, hey, residential, you got the living and dining, right? Where's the kitchen and all? Not the right way to think about it. This can also be an office. This can be a home office. This can be a studio. This can be whatever you want it to be, as long as it's under the commercial usage. So if you want to use it full residential, also can, just that your utility rates will be under commercial rates lah. It will be more expensive. Yeah, check out the unit. So coming into the unit, this will be a 900mm door. So the clearance will be around 897, somewhere like that. And once you come in here, there will be a corridor, but please bear in mind that this is the show unit. So there are some treatments to it that is not included within the package itself. So please do always check with the salesperson. And for this show unit, they kind of made it into a residential format. It can be a unit for dwelling, also a home office kind of setup, but indirectly that kind of reminds me of my own format. So imagine if I were to have a studio and I will work here and I will have meetings in this same place before I go back home, right? I think this is a great format. Anyway, the clearance for the space here is 1.45 meters, where you still have sufficient space to put in your pantry. So I like that they have around 500mm clearance here for you to put in your countertop, and you can put your basin here, top and bottom cabinet, maybe a 1 or 2 cooker hood and hob, and you still can place a fridge before you reach your living hall. Then for the living hall, the wall-to-wall width here is around 3.1 meters, right? It's very sufficient in terms of this size, and this seems to be a standard width for all compact size apartments already. Where perfectly you can put in a sofa, settee, plus your TV space adjacent to the balcony. For ceiling height, then it will be 10 feet. For pricing, this is around 1,000 per square feet for this freehold property, and this unit right now that we are seeing is going to be around 600,000, depending on which floor level that you're going to choose as well. So there will be some variation there. And walking through the living space, then this will be the balcony that comes with it, and this is the size of the opening here. Okay, this is the mock-up view of us facing Damansara Uptown side, facing LDP's side, and that highlights a few things. So as we are adjacent to one of the busiest, no, two of the busiest road within PJ itself, there will confirm be noise, there will confirm be dust and all. So just be mindful if you choose to face this side. Then the width of the balcony is 1.15 and the length is around 3 meters. So in comparison to their unit size, this is relatively big. Next to the living space, then this will be the bathroom, and this will be the one that's a bit weird because the bathroom door is like that, right? Once you go into the bathroom or you come out from the bathroom, everyone in the living room will be able to see. But again, this is assuming that this is a format of residential. But if these are just office setup, it will look entirely different. Anyway, this is not the exact materials, of course. When they hand over, it will all be brick walls. Going in, this will be the WC and basin, full height wall tiles. But they have not confirmed the brand for the sanitary wares yet. So if you're interested when you come, right, please do make sure you check that. Also, there are some modifications to the show unit in terms of materials, in terms of dimensions, where you can see this was supposedly to be the extension of the wall, so the wall will be flush with that door, and that will be the location for the washer. And I'm not too sure whether it is an official statement, but after I chat with the team, this construction method is based on conventional beams and columns. That That means the walls within the unit are non-load bearing walls. So there will be certain flexibility on the treatments of the wall. So it means you can hack to a certain degree, of course up to the approval of the management, because they want to ensure safety, right? So this show unit really displays like if this is a sales gallery for your product, for your beauty product, it can be a photography studio, it can be a podcast studio for recordings, it can be an office space for a team of 5. And the best thing, because it's commercial title, right? Just in case Selangor government were to follow Penang's government jurisdictions, Airbnb will always be allowed in this format. Yeah, that's something good to know lah. Going in, there will be a wall here, there will also be a wall here by default. But again, this is the treatment. This will be the better room, I would say. Where the room size is 3.4 meters by 3.4 meters with a bigger window like this. So this is going to be the only room, because we've got 2 rooms only. This is going to be the only room with window. The other room got no window. So please bear in mind. That also means that if it's going to be in a residential format, this will be the only bedroom. You're not going to see a person who's going to be living in the other room lah. So in that scale, you can put in a bed, you have your wardrobe space, dressing table, and you can even adjust the wall a little bit for this to be an ensuite bathroom. Then you can close this, right? Or you can just leave it open however you want. So the level of flexibility is very, very high. Going into the shared bathroom here, this is nice. Where you have your basin in the center, WC, shower area here, full height wall tiles. Due to the access to the facade and the void, I think both bathrooms will be using mechanical ventilations within. Okay, going into the last room, where this room will be fully enclosed, no windows at all. In terms of size, then this is 2.5 by 3.3 meters. And it's going to be fully enclosed, so when you are investing in this layout, then you gotta really think about the usage for this space. It can be a perfect music room, hobby room, gym room, recording studio, etc. If it's in an office format, then this can be a meeting room where you can have your projectors. But as a bedroom, then this is not exactly ideal. Well, unless you can do those half wall format where you have a window here, you still will not have any openings, but this will be the one only lah. Yeah, that's an idea lah. And I guess that's all for the visit. It's now time to check out the site. Yeah, let's go. Hey guys, we are now on site, which is the entrance of the Mate, and this will be an immediate branch right after LDP. So this will be LDP, and that will be Sprint Highway, right? So this is the intersection, and when you come from Sprint Highway, then there will be a left turn right after this entrance. So you will turn in this way, and you also turn out that way. But if you come from LDP side, then you will need to make a U-turn before you come in this way. And here you can kind of see the entrance statement already, where this will be the landscape area, then going up this will be the facilities deck, then going up that will be the tower itself, and it's right next to Tropics, the office and the mall. So on site we also kind of noticed this problem of the end of the building. It's very close to the immediate apartment next to it. On this side you will have the landed houses, so that one you will have like unblocked view all the way. On this side then, facing the building, you will have 2 roads width of distance. For the one facing Damansara Utama side, that will be the best, but you will get certain visibility of the cemetery right in front. So it depends on what you want to do with the unit lor. And ultimately, the more I look at this project, right, it would have been a perfect mixed development, combining all the different product types. That's why I really think that this one, as a Sovo, is very, very accurate in terms of product positioning. Whereas in between residential, in between commercial, because surrounding, right, it's a very distinct landed, high-rise is all commercial. Then in this nearby mall, there's also 4 malls already. Well, you have the 3 Damansara Mall, which last time was called Tropicana City Mall, got rebranded. Then you have Starling Mall right opposite. Then you want to have the opposite one, I think Glow Damansara as well. And you go a little bit further down, that will be Bandar Utama side. Then you have the entire Mutiara Damansara side already. On the other end, you drive a little bit more, you got Paradigm, you got Sari Pyramid.
and the amount of colleges here are also in abundance. So human traffic, definitely there will be job opportunities as well, because surrounding this building you have the Damansara Intan building, this office building. So again, come back to that point, this one is as an in-between product. And also the team shared that there will be a direct link from the Mate over to the mall. That will definitely add a lot of convenience to whoever who is using here. So in terms of lunchtime, right, you just walk down, there will be things to eat. And I also kind of walked around the mall a little bit. They were heavily affected by MCO, so you can see a lot of empty lots right now. But it looks like they are also redoing the entire scheme altogether, because ultimately the group behind this mall is no small fry. It's really some established mall management group from Singapore. They have the capacity to do it. So it's a kind of good and bad situation, because imagine if this mall is packed all the time, right? The traffic coming into the mall will also somewhat affect the entrance for the Mate, but that will then give convenience to them. But if like now not so good also, the impression to the Mate will be affected. But to me, basic necessity will be there, like you have Nando's, you have movies, you have some electronics, you have some drinking places, cafes. Enough already, what? Also the brand new NSK Grocer concept, that was kind of cool. But if the mall does well, the office will do well as well, because suddenly there will be a certain level of convenience that comes with it. People will work here, people will stay here, then everything will be all complete. Yeah, and I guess that's all for this round. It's now time for Sean's take 3 on 3. So for the 3 things I like, number 1, definitely that location of SS2, right? I think this is still considered SS2 or PJ SS2, because it's really in the intersection between Damansara Jaya, Damansara Utama, Damansara Uptown. And the perks to that location will be in terms of low connectivity, where you're connected to, of course, 2 of the main highways. Also the very matured amenities. And if you look around the site, this is as if a site that was ignored or forgotten, because if you drive around all this while, you will notice that how come still got land there? It's really that kind of feeling when I come across this site. So it's really a very new building in a very, very matured location. You have schools, offices, mall, population, anything you want, all got. The second thing I like then will be the program of having it as a lifestyle suite or a commercial suite or a Sovo. So it will be commercial title. It means that it can be either be a corporate office, lifestyle office, studio, home studio. You want to live in it also can. So there's no limit, just that all the rates of utility will be under commercial title. That allows this to be very flexible in adapting to the surrounding program, where you have more officers, residents landed around you already. So this is a very good in-between transition kind of product. That's very flexible, that's very nice. So it just widens the potential usage, also widens the target audience for your tenants. For the 3 things I don't like, then number 1, raining. Yeah, we just ran back into the mall. So for the 3 things I don't like, number 1 will be the setting of the site. So it's really located very, very close to the neighboring building, very, very close to the office. So it's a very, very out of place if you come from the perspective of the landed property. So suddenly in front of them, wow. But it's as if initially this was part of this master plan of the entire program. So this is like their very final phase of it. So if you look at it as a final phase of this entire mixed development, then it makes a lot of sense. But just when you look at it in isolation, right? Why the rest built so early, this one so last minute built one? And part of the setting as well, it leads to this very poor access. So you have this one way in, one way out. It's safe, just that it's not as convenient, especially when you forget your phone every time you leave the building. Hey, I forget my phone. Habis. You need to make a U-turn then. Part of this also, when the mall is doing very well, it gets even more challenging to come back home. Then the second thing I don't like will be the roads. Although it's very, very connected, there's a difference between locating right next to a highway versus right next to a junction of 2 highways. So just now if you look into a drone shot, this is like now 3 to 4 o'clock. It's already packed. Imagine if it's normal days, and this is the normal time that we leave the building. So the congestion and noise that comes with the road, right? Yeah. So the most ideal situation is if you work and live in the same building, or you walking distance away, right? Then it's fabulous. You just straight away hang out in a mall after office hours, then you go back and chill. You can take a shower before coming back for movies. Yeah, so that would be the most ideal. If you need to travel, please take that road and traveling time into consideration. And the last thing, and I read this a lot from the comments, will be the situation of the mall. And you can see that it's not doing as well, but these whole things can change, and it's entirely up to the decision of a management. And the management here will be the mall management group from Singapore. They definitely have the capacity to do things, just that COVID impacted them heavily. That's why you can see a lot of empty lots right now. But I think it's not going to take very long before things will change. Now when you have a separate entity, it's good to have is at least a link, that's about it. So when the mall does not do as well, the only thing that will miss out from the program will be the convenience to the cinema, the convenience to the restaurant, that's about it. Because you still have 3 retail within the project itself. So to a certain level, you can still have walking distance amenities lah. Anyway, I think that's about it. Do I like the project? Yes. From an investment perspective, this is where you can really have a lot of certainty around the site, a lot of certainty in terms of rental rates, in terms of returns, and it's entirely up to you who you want to rent out to, and the mode of usage is very, very flexible. Basically, you can do anything you want with the unit because of its commercial title lah. Whoever thought that this compact size design that was mind-blowing 4 years ago, beyond acceptance by public, now becomes a thing. And you can see a lot of other surrounding projects around are modeling within the same size. Benefit again is still this part of this attachment to a mixed development that is very, very convenience centric. So the only deal breaker will be 2 years from now. Do you think that this mall will do better or do the other side? And I guess that's all for now. If you really like this episode, like it, share, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.